Hi guys. I'm going to do a video now on my top 10 favorite horror movies of 2025. I'm a little late on this. I apologize for that, but I'm getting to it now. Now, quick disclaimer, I haven't seen everything that came out in 2025. There is one movie that I was super excited for that I didn't get the chance to see, and that movie was Rabbit Trap. Um, because I was pretty excited for that, but I didn't get the chance to see it. So these are just my favorites that I've seen this year. But starting with some honorable mentions, we have The Damned, Companion, The Rule of Jenny Penn, The Ugly Stepsister, Until Dawn, The Surfer, Hurry Up Tomorrow, The Surrender, 28 Years Later, Strange Harvest, The Conjuring Last Rites, Him, Good Boy, VHS Halloween, Predator Badlands, and Frankenstein. So those are my honorable mentions. Just by those honorable mentions, there were some controversial ones in there, but you could tell that this has just been a really wonderful year for horror cinema. So now let's get into my top 10 favorites. At number 10, we have The Monkey. One out of two of Osgood Perkins' new horror movies that came out this year. This was a film I was super excited for, and I would say it lived up to my expectations. It is definitely different than Osgood's like particular style. This is definitely it doesn't necessarily feel like an Osgood Perkins movie aside from some of the style that he has sprinkled throughout in there, but most of the time this is like a really goofy comedic very gory movie and I had tons of fun with it. I think it's really gory, it's funny, it's fun, and I've never read the actual short story The Monkey, but this has me intrigued. But yeah, I had a ton of fun with this movie, and that's why it is number 10. At number 9, we have a movie that I did not think was going to be on this list at all. And that is Black Phone 2. Yeah, Black Phone 2 on my list at number 9. I didn't think this was going to be on my list at all. I was honestly expecting this to be garbage. But I actually quite love this film. I honestly would say it's just as good. If not, might even like it a little better than um the first one. It was creepy. It was had some unsettling scenes, had great music, and it was even emotional at times. So yeah, Black Phone 2, massive surprise, and I ended up loving it. At number 8, we have a movie called Freewalker, however you pronounce it. This is a very strange, like Irish folklore movie that um definitely isn't gonna appeal to everybody. But for me, I thought this film was super atmospheric, really creepy. Had a lot of really good commentary in it, and man, I was really into this one. And like when I saw almost no one was talking about it. So when I just posted online, you gotta watch Free Walker because this is a really, really cool movie. And it was it's technically the second Gaelic language Irish horror film. There is another movie coming out in the US for us this year called The Ghost, which is supposedly the first one that was filmed that is in Gaelic. But super excited for that one. And Frey Waka was wonderful. So definitely watch that, and that's why it remains at number 8. At number 7, we have probably most people's number one, and that is Sinners. Ryan Coogler's first ever horror film, this vampire horror period piece music movie. I thought this was wonderful, just like everyone else did. Everyone, like, it gave me education on blues music and even got me into blues music a little bit. The vampire folklore was super interesting and is the kind of vampire stuff that I'm into, and it also just has a really good history background to it, like in terms of how they tell things, and even had a bit of good political commentary, if you want to call it that I was really into. So Sinners, most people put at number 1, but for me, I still loved it. nonetheless, and that's why it is at number 7. Now at number 6, we have Bring Her Back. This was a incredibly anticipated movie for me because it was from the people who did Talk to Me, and I love that movie, and I love this film as well. Honestly, I say this while I'm wearing a Talk to Me shirt, but um this might I can't decide if I like this better than Talk to Me or not. I would kind of have to rewatch them a few more times back to back to actually decide that. This one's definitely more fucked up and dark than Talk to Me, though, I feel like. Man, there were some really hard to watch, tough scenes in this movie. And also, just as a grieving person, this movie definitely resonated with me. And yeah, man, I love this movie. It was fucked up, but it was so, so good. Bring Her Back. Um, Absolutely loved it. And it is number 6. At number 5, we have another really anticipated film for me, and this film has been anticipated for like 5 to 6 years now, and that is Shelby Oaks. Chris Stuckman's directorial debut with producer Mike Flanagan. I loved this movie. I thought it was so intriguing. I loved the opening 20 minutes with the mockumentary style. I thought it was so intriguing with that. Then the rest of the movie, just when it switched to like a traditional narrative, absolutely loved it then as well. It was incredible. I loved the investigative parts of it. It was scary, it was atmospheric, it was effective, and it was everything I was hoping Chris Stuckman would bring to the table with a horror movie by him based on what he said about horror movies in his videos, and I loved it. And I cannot wait to see what else Chris Stuckman does in the future. So, Shelby Oaks at number 5. At number 4, we have, once again, another film that was highly anticipated for me. And a lot of these were, but this is Together. This film with Alison Brie and Dave Franco, this gross, weird body horror movie. I loved this movie so much. It was creepy, it was unnerving, it had really strange, odd moments with them just forming together that really got me squealing. And the movie's not gory by any means, but it was like really, it was still like tough to watch in some moments, and it got to me. And the movie was surprisingly funny at some moments, which I didn't really expect from it, but it had good humor in it, and it also had some really good commentary on relationships and all that stuff, which I definitely was able to resonate with. But yeah, Together, I absolutely loved it, and it's number 4. At number 3, we have probably the one that is the most underrated, and also one that was kind of hated by some other people. Even though it does have some genuinely positive reviews, this one was pretty hated, and that was Ash. This film I absolutely loved. A sci-fi space set horror movie with Aaron Paul, and it's directed by Flying Lotus. Beautiful looking film. The neon colors surrounding this film was insane. It just felt like a massive drug trip for the whole 95 minutes of this movie. The music was incredible. The creature designs, the monster that is at the end of this movie, and what it actually ends up being, phenomenal. It looked so scary. There was really grotesque scenes in this movie. So much intense scenes. My I was holding on to my seat for dear life. There was so much intense shit in this movie, and it was beautiful, it was stunning. And man, I don't know why this film got some hate to it. Just like with Shelby Oaks. I mean, Shelby Oaks, that got hate because it was Chris Stuckman, but that film is incredible. This film just got hate for it being a film, and I don't understand that at all. Because this film was incredible to me. So Ash was at number 3. Number 2, we have Osgood Perkins' second movie of the year, and that is Keeper. This one also got some pretty negative reviews. Um, I don't know if it was mainly because of Osgood, because he's been kind of divisive lately, or if it was just the movie in general, but I'm pretty sure it was the movie in general based off of everything I'm reading. But I don't understand it at all. This movie, once again, is gorgeous in every way imaginable. It's beautifully shot. The visuals are amazing. It's so atmospheric and unnerving and creepy, and has a really good message about. I'm not going to spoil what it is because if I say it's going to be a spoiler, but it has a really good message about something that's pretty common theme in horror movies within the past 5 years, from what I've noticed. And the creatures at the end and what the monsters are. Once again, not saying it, but man, the creatures looked amazing. They were terrifying looking. They are like the things I see in my nightmares. Pretty much, I actually describe this movie as if it's pretty much my nightmares adapted into a movie, and we got Keeper. This was incredible. Did not disappoint at all. But yeah, can't wait to see what else Osgood does because he is probably my favorite director working today. Keeper is number two, and for number one is another. Along with Sinners, this is probably everyone else's popular choice for their favorite horror movie of the year, and it was my favorite horror movie of the year. Do you think you guys can guess what that is? Yeah, it was Weapons. Zach Kreger's sophomore effort right after Barbarian, which I absolutely adored. Weapons is just as good as Barbarian, and a lot of people say it's better. I think it's just as good and better in other ways, and Barbarian is better in other ways, but just as good as Barbarian. It is insane. It is creepy, it's unnerving, it's uncomfortable, it's hilarious in a lot of moments where I was laughing so much in the theater while also just being sunk into my seat of how terrified I was at some of the imagery, the story and the way it was told with them jumping from character perspective to character's perspective. Loved it all. I loved the characters in the movie. I thought it was such a brilliant way to tell the story. The 2 hours was all very warranted. I wouldn't cut a second out of the 2 hours and 10 minutes of this movie. And the antagonist in the movie, which I could say who she is because y'all know her at this point, and that's Aunt Gladys. Not gonna say what she is or her motive, but you guys know Aunt Gladys at this point. She is fucking crazy. She's like a female Longlegs, and as you know, Longlegs was my favorite horror film from 2024. This is pretty much the female Longlegs. She is fucked up. She is wild looking, and supposedly there's going to be a prequel of her coming out. So can't wait to see that when that happens. But Weapons was everything I wanted it to be, and I absolutely adored it. I know it was definitely a letdown for some people, but I think most people would agree with me. Weapons was my favorite horror film of 2025. And I can't wait to see what else Zach Kreger does. I'm really looking forward to his Resident Evil movie. So that is my top 10 favorite horror movies of 2025, along with my honorable mentions. So, what are your favorite horror movies of 2025? Please let me know what they are in the comments. And as always, subscribe to me to see more horror and thriller reviews.